Anticipation is a skill that really separates the best players from everybody else. To be good at anticipating, you really have to be paying attention to what's happening. For example, you need to pay attention to how your opponent is moving to the ball and think about what their intentions are. For example, are they trying to pass it to their partner, or are they trying to send it over the net? Here's the sequence that should be going through your mind as your opponent is playing the ball. So after you serve the ball, this is what you should be thinking about. You serve the ball and you watch your opponent, and they're either going to pass it to their partner or they're going to send it back over the net. So if they send the ball back over the net and you're anticipating that they're going to send it over the net, then you can easily make the play. However, if they pass it to their partner, you should be thinking, are they going to set their partner or are they going to send it over? If they send the ball over the net and you're really paying attention, you'll be ready to play it. But if they set their partner, you should be thinking, did they set the ball tight? Did they set the ball off the net? If the set goes tight to the net, did your partner stay up and block? Or if the set went off the net, did your partner drop back and play defense? The game's happening really fast, and there's a lot going on, and you need to pay attention to all this. How well you anticipate really depends on how well you can process all this information. You take all this information really quickly and you come to a good decision. So if you're not paying attention, then you really don't have any information and you're not going to make good decisions. And anticipation isn't guessing. Guessing is a lot different. Guessing is what you do when you don't have any information. You don't know what to do, so you just guess and you hope you made the right decision. There's basically two different parts to being good at anticipating. First, there's the anticipation that you do before the ball is put in play. This is you're basically coming up with a plan. You're thinking about your opponent and coming up with a strategy. The thing is, most players are consistent when they play. For example, you might play against somebody that never hits the ball hard and they're always hitting shots. And if they always hit shots, they probably have a couple favorite shots they like to hit all the time. They probably have a shot they like to hit because it works all the time, and so they're going to do it most of the time. So the point is, if you know what they're going to do, or what they tend to do, then you know what they're likely to do, so you can really prepare for this. So it's important to know the tendencies of your opponent so you can prepare for them. Being good at anticipating is really all about having a lot of information, then making good decisions based on what you know and what you expect is going to happen. So here's a sequence that you should be thinking about when you are playing. So let's say you're serving on this side, okay? And they're here in serve receive. So when you serve the ball, and let's say this player's about to pass it, you should be thinking, are they going to pass it to their partner? Or are they going to send the ball back over the net? And so if you're thinking about what they're going to do, then you're going to be ready for when it happens. So like if they send it back over, you won't get caught not knowing, and so you'll be able to make the play. So let's say they don't send it back over and they pass to the partner. Now this player comes up and they're going to either set their partner or they're going to send it over. So if you're constantly thinking, are they going to send it over or are they going to set their partner? If you're really paying attention and watching for them to send it over, you're going to be ready to play it. So there's only two things that could happen, right? You serve the ball, they're either going to pass it to the partner or they're going to send it over. You only have two things to watch for, right? Then after they pass it to the partner, this player is either going to send it over the net or they're going to set their partner. There's just two things to think about. So then, let's say they set their partner. When this player is hitting, is the set close to the net? Is it off the net? Is this player a big hitter? Can they jump up high and hit the ball down into the court, or do they like to hit shots? These are all the things that you should be thinking about to make better decisions for anticipating. And when we have a play at the net, setter is setting the hitter, blocker, and defender. There's a lot of things going on. So it could be tight to the net, so the blocker needs to be up there if it's tight. If the set's off the net, they might decide to drop back and play defense. Blocker could be blocking angle, then the defensive player needs to dig line. Blocker could be blocking line. Defensive player digs angle. You also have to think about what your opponent is doing. So you got to think about what your team is doing, what your opponent is doing, and then you got to read the situation and make good decisions. And if you want to make anticipation easier, what you do is you can serve tougher. So for example, if you serve tough, and let's say this player passes the ball this far off the net, then this player sets them off the net. Now they're off the net, so there's a lot fewer things that could happen, right? They're not at the net, so they can't hit the ball down. right? So the ball's going to have to go up over the net. And so this player could drop back and play defense, and so it's a lot easier to cut the court. But if the play was at the net, then there's a whole lot more things that could happen. So there's a lot more things to prepare for. This is why serving is so important. Now, if you'd like more tips on playing defense, be sure to watch my video on how to play defense behind a block. The link to watch it is in the description below and also in the cards in this video. If you've been struggling to anticipate and have questions related to anticipation, please comment below with a follow-up question. If you like this video, please let me know by liking it below. Subscribe and share it with your volleyball friends. And comment below with the word helpful if you found this video has helped.